For God's sakes. What are you doing? What? What? What are you doing? Get her on. What are you doing? What are you doing? I know. I had to laugh. And then I just deleted. Because anyone who makes a comment like that does not deserve to have their comment seen. Yes, let's be specific. Not, I shouldn't have said only a man would write that. Only a stupid man would write that. I know, right? And it's not like, it's not a video that you can skip ahead on. like for, come on. Lazy. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I had comments from people who said I didn't intervene enough. Then there were people who said I intervened too much. And I'm like, you'll never win. So I can just be true to my instincts at the time and just try to make sure that all the placentas come out and all the babies can breathe. I don't question anything about how I took care of Harley and the babies as they were coming. But I do find it rather amusing when out of all the things that people could comment about, they say stuff like that. Not, oh my God, they were so beautiful. Oh my God, like, you know, the miracle of giving birth. But, oh, the video was too long, or you touched the kittens too much, or you didn't touch the kittens and the mom enough. One person wrote, you know, didn't this cat have it hard enough? Couldn't you have helped her more? I'm like, what? What, am I supposed to go in and try to pull the babies out? Like, how much more can I have done? People are not the brightest. I just think that just the fact that I was able to stay focused enough to count placentas and to keep Harley from leaving the box mid-pushing, I was impressed with myself. I think that also, most of the time people are really self-judgmental and they terrorize themselves. And thanks to social media and, you know, things like YouTube, social media, they now have an outlet to focus some of their self-hatred onto the rest of the world. And so I really don't usually take it very personally at all anymore. I think in the beginning I would be like, there'd be a moment of like, you know, I'd question myself, but excuse me, kitty litter stays in the kitty litter box. In the box. Are you comfy? But now I just don't take it personally. But like the first time somebody commented, oh my God, her voice is so annoying. She just won't shut up. You told us the rules are listed under the video. Why don't you just shut up about it? People can read under the video. And I wanted to respond. At first I was like, my voice is annoying? I'm like, I don't even like listening to my own voice most of the time, so whatever. But I was like, no one was reading under the description. I just wanted to like whine, respond to them. But then I was like, nope. Nope, not gonna respond. Nope. What are you doing? Excuse me? Excuse me? Yeah, I don't. No, no, no. Yeah, you're not. No. Sorry, baby. Well, I think a lot of people see, you know, not everybody had seen kittens or cats give birth before, I'm assuming, or they know very little about kitten births, whatever. So for some, they had no idea and they say stupid things, but others who have seen them before should know better. Excuse me. The closet is closed. The closet is closed to you. You are going to slip off that chair. Nala. Nala. No. Get down. Nala. Get down. Please. Thank you. From what I read, yeah, that's why she took a quick break, because people were criticizing her for allowing the mama cat to give birth instead of aborting the babies or something. Because a lot of the city shelters will abort babies and spay the mom. But if the babies are about to be born any day, rescues try to rescue them. Rescue the pregnant mama before they can do that. But a couple of years ago, I know there was a mama cat that I was trying to get. We were trying to pull from a shelter, and the stupid shelter aborted the babies before we could get her. Usually they're better about that. What are you doing? Yeah, that's kind of the PETA belief. Like, you know, PETA thinks that feral cats should all be euthanized, and that's just not, that's not how, what I believe, or any of the rescues that I've worked with, or work with, or rescuers I work with believe. It's ridiculous. Well, and obviously she got the mama cat, and then the mama cat almost, like, within days gave birth. So those kittens were ready to be born. it was too late. I mean, God, you guys remember how hard it was for me with Lily. Well, some of you do. And she wasn't about to pop. No matter what the vet said. I don't think he knew what he was talking about. But, I can't imagine taking a healthy, pregnant mama cat that's about to give birth and do something horrible like that. It just makes no sense. Yeah, I understand that, but when the kittens are just about ready to be born, they're big enough that it's just, I mean, I can't, it's one thing if the mom is barely pregnant, but it's such, ugh. But, and even if you don't necessarily agree with it, to be unsupportive and attack somebody like a rescuer, like Kitten Lady, is just ridiculous. Yeah, she gave birth the next day. Good night, Arya. And it's one thing, you know, she doesn't normally take in pregnant mama cats and have births like that. So it's not like she was rescuing them and then handing them off to some rescue to take up space in a rescue. She was willing to take her into her home. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree and who feels like they know better than you do. Always. And that's when I just think that when somebody is that critical, I don't know, on Instagram or on Twitter, on Instagram, can you ban people? I think you can, can't you? Or block people from seeing your account. Those are the kind of people that you know are just never going to be your supporters, and you can try to educate them, but when they're that critical, you just need to, like, cut them off. Yeah, right, Ghosties? Sorry, Nita. Hi, Claire. Oh my god, that's so sad. Well, and it's so much easier for people to judge that kind of thing when they're not the one who has to make the decision. I bet that the majority of people who made those horrible comments, if they had found the pregnant mama cat, that, you know, let's see how many of them would have had the courage to, like, take that mama cat to the vet and abort those kittens. Like, half those people would never have been able to follow through with it. Yeah, you think... Unfortunately, yes, I think there's a lot of people who have so much self-hatred that they have nothing better to do than to just sit online and criticize the hell out of people that are doing good things. People love, I learned years ago, people love to put other people on pedestals and they love to knock them down. Love to. So you just have to, like, not let people put you on a pedestal and not give them that kind of power. And then they can't really knock you down. I mean, I know that when I had to make that choice with Lily, I literally sobbed for days. On cam, off cam, at the vet, on the phone with the vet. I just sobbed. I felt gutted. And those kittens weren't even full term. And it was even more clear because of her health. But to take a healthy mama cat and kittens, that's just stupid. I said it. Stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. Oops, I got it. Yep. You just remember that. When people are being bullies on social media, they're just spewing their own self-hatred. They're like a boiling teapot, and the steam is coming out, and the only way that they feel like they can disperse any of that hot air is to just squirt it all over you. That was kind of gross. You know what I mean. Yeah, I can imagine, ghosties. They're trying to get it completely banned in California. I'm really hoping that it happens. Yeah, I just think that with the majority of these people, if they were standing right in front of the kitten lady, or if they were standing right in front of me, or in front of like Coasties at one of their booths at the conventions, that the majority of these people would not have the courage to say what they say online to our faces. And there's absolutely nothing that I say that I'm not willing to say to somebody's face. I got the paper wet, I'm sorry. Hi, Grace. Dawn. I know I sent out emails. No, she was FELV positive, not FIV positive. And the kittens more than likely would have had birth defects, which it turns out they did, but we didn't know until they were taken out. Good for you, Luna. That's awesome. You should post about it or talk to people you know and let everybody know that they should complain. Because believe it or not, especially with vets, especially locally, you have way more power than you think you do, because they have to be, you know, they care about their reputation. And if you affect their reputation, they're going to make changes. And that's the thing, is that we can complain about things, but Ghosties is absolutely correct. That, you know, we as individuals have the power to change things. And unfortunately, we get kind of lazy, and, you know, life is hard, and the last thing we want to do is add one more thing to our plate. But these are the kind of things that, like, even myself, it never even crossed my mind to ask my vet that I went to for years whether they declawed or not. Didn't even cross my mind. And then I said something once to the receptionist there, and she said, oh, well, we do it, but, you know, we give them plenty of drugs afterwards and blah, 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 and went on this whole thing. And they were lovely. I love the receptionists there. And I was, like, in shock because they were such nice people, and I couldn't believe that they were that ridiculous. And what I realized, because they were the vets that I was with when I had Gia and Johnny and when Gia was really sick, and that's the vet who I think was so behind in, you know, medical advancements that Gia probably would have never gotten as bad as she had if I had gone to a vet who had more recent knowledge. And I just think that they are stuck in the past and that they have not read any of the new literature or research on decline or on some medicine, ultimately. Sorry, Meta. I'm trying to remember to talk slowly. But after that, I had to stop going there. I could not believe. But it never crossed my mind. And after that, I realized I had to be, I had to be more proactive and had to ask those kind of questions and make clear that I would not support any vet who does that. Yeah, I think, but I honestly think the Paw Project and Jennifer have done so much on a scientific medical level to educate in a way that had never been done before, that it makes it very difficult for vets to deny the research that she's done and the work that she's done. And at that point, you know, there's definitely some vets who are just ignorant, but then there are just some vets who are just asses. And I think that the Paw Project has had a huge influence. I don't think that California would be on the verge of becoming completely anti-decline if it weren't for the Paw Project. Oh yeah, I told them why I wasn't going. Hi Sid, welcome. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I hate to, and I don't think, I know there are plenty of like older vets who are brilliant and helpful and wonderful, but I have to say that I totally see the difference in the vet that I've gone to with, like the one that I took Rob to, that I've taken Rob to, that is a bunch of young women who are really excited about, you know, vet medicine and who travel the world trying to help animals, and they're up on, like, they're on the new stuff. And it's pretty horrifying because one of the benefits of fostering for kitten rescue is that I've been able to learn a lot from Ben, who's the president. And when you realize that he tends to know more than a good number of vets about certain feline illnesses and treatments, and knows more about certain medicines than some of these vets, it's frightening. I'm like, what are they doing with these vets in their education? Hi, Jen. Hi, Geraldine. How do you weed out the okay vets from the not okay vets? You ask questions. You ask them how they feel about declawing. You ask them when you, like, if they ever prescribe medication, if they aren't really clear about what the medication is, no matter what the medication is, I always look it up online and see what other medications might have come out around that time, if there's newer medications. But you just, you know, you have to have the courage to ask them questions. And take the time to go online and look up reviews on them. And honestly, you know, I believe in second opinions. When your cat is really sick, especially, I know it's not cheap, but I believe that if I had gotten a second opinion sooner on Gia and on Johnny, they might still be alive. And that will haunt me for the rest of my life. Well, and luckily for you guys, you know, we're part of this big community of cat lovers. And when any of our cats get sick, you know, that's why, one of the reasons why John and I started Kitten Cam Clouder. Because if your cat gets sick, go into the group and ask questions. Ask anybody if they've had a cat that suffered from whatever illness that your vet has diagnosed your cat with, and what the treatment was that they received, and compare notes. You know, be open-minded, and then take those notes that you get from other people and go back to your vet and say, other people I've spoken to whose cats have had this condition have been treated it like this, this, and this. You know, is there a particular reason why you want to treat it this way? And if your vet gets defensive, go to another vet. Hi, Donna. Oh my god, that's so horrifying, ghosties. Oh god, that's so horrible, ghosties. There is not one way to, there's not any way to declaw that isn't gonna leave your cat open to the possibility of suffering. And the problem is that they may not even suffer, a lot of times they suffer immediately, but there are definitely times where it gets done and it's not until years later that the arthritis flares up and the cat starts having major problems, and people are like, oh, it's just, you know, old age or whatever, and they're not old cats. People just don't even think about it. But we've seen enough horror stories of declawed cats. And honestly, part of the way I I think about it too is that I, of course, would like to believe that my cats will never escape from my house. I'm extra careful. But stuff happens. And let's say your cat never has any physical, bad physical response to being declawed. If your cat ever somehow escapes your house, if we have an earthquake and the cat gets out of the house by mistake, that cat has no way of defending itself anymore. It will almost be impossible for it to climb a tree or get high enough that it won't be hurt by a predator. That idea alone should be enough to scare people into not doing it. But then the majority of the time cats suffer physically. It just makes me so mad and sad. I think it's great you're trying to educate yourself, Luna. The more facts we know, the better we can educate others. Yes, sir. Even with their claws, they can go creating across the room. I agree, Zoe. Hi, Sophie. And hi, Zoe. Where's Darm? There's Darm. Hi, Darm. What are you doing? You're cute. That's the way to do it, ghosties. Well, I'm glad that your grandma's kitty has your grandma. Well, and you know, a lot of it is just that people don't want to be bothered with having to clip claws. And I get it, it's not easy, it's a pain in the butt. It's never fun for me to do it, but in 5 minutes I can be done. And it just means having to wrap them in blankets, and it's a little annoying, and hearing the crying and the weird cat's I want to kill you noises that Rob makes. Hi, baby. But you know, like Donna and Kirby even hire people to come clip the cat's claws. And Denise and George put claw caps on, and they've had good success with that. It's like, okay, let's say I refused to cut my claws, my nails, and I just kept scratching people by mistake, and the response was, all right, we need to cut off your fingers at the knuckles, Sarah. Sorry, we just can't handle being scratched anymore. That would be horrifying to people, but it's okay to do to kitties. Sorry. No, trust me, I have 2 cats that hate having their claws clipped. Rob and Faye are the worst. Faye's even worse than Rob. Rob makes horrible dying noises, but Faye is slippery. Her skin is like mushy. She can slip through everything. So I have to like wrap her so completely in order to get her claws. And Rob is the same way because he just is nuts. It's a giant pain in the butt, but I'm not gonna freaking declaw my cats because I don't want to deal with wrapping them in a towel to clip their claws. Even after Rob flips me off with his middle claw all the time, constantly flipping me off. Yeah, we get declawed cats way more than I wish we did. It's so heartbreaking. And to go through that and declaw a cat and then to give it up, I can't even. Grr. Oh, Nala. I would never do that to you. Yeah, as long as you introduce them properly, Sam, and the kitties with their claws aren't normally aggressive and have been around other kitties, they should be fine. I mean, my cats with claws are not like scratching at each other. My cats or my foster cats. And even when they fight, they swat at each other, but they retract their claws. Rob does make horrible dying noises. He made the same noises when he hogtied himself into Bird the other day. I think John said he could hear Rob, or maybe he heard me calling it after Rob. But Rob made the I'm dying noises. It's so pitiful. I have not, ghosties. When cat whines and she literally says, I'm not killing you. I don't think the declawed cat would feel extra stress. I don't think the declawed cat will understand that there's a difference between them as long as your other cats aren't aggressively trying to attack it. Oh, you heard me calling Rob. I just felt so bad. He was like hurting himself. And making the dying noises. My poor baby. Hi, Jersey. What are you doing, baby? Sure, ghosties. You can even name names. I've never had a cat make the noises that Rob makes. Well, maybe Gia did. It's the most pitiful noise. It feels like when he makes that noise, it's like what I imagine and what I experienced when I was a nanny, when an adorable toddler like looks at you with tears in their eyes and is like, why are you being so mean to me? Why are you trying to kill me? And I'm always like, I'm not trying to kill you, Rob, I'm trying to save you. He's learning though, but he still makes the noises. Because he tends to get his middle claw that is always sticking out stuck in things. Even when I trim it. I have a big metal security screen door on my front door. And it's got little holes in it. So you can see through it, but it's metal. And he always gets his middle claw stuck in it. And you'd think by now he'd learn not to try to climb the door. But he gets excited about something and he climbs up and then he gets stuck and then he starts making the undying noise and I have to come running. And he used to like freak out, and now once I'm there he's gotten better about calming down and letting me pull it out of the hole. But I'm always like, it's okay baby, I'm here. Rob will, when I'm trying to clip his claws, he will growl a little bit, but then he makes the undying noise. He'll be like, whatever the noise is. Can't even imitate it. I'll try to record it next time. I really should. Next time I was planning on trimming his claws this weekend, so I'll see if I can record it. That'll be funny and sad. I'll try not to cry. Well, in a perfect world with Rob, when he sleeps on me, I always keep scissors near me so that when he's really asleep, I try to grab especially that middle claw, because that middle claw like taunts me and scars me on a regular basis. But he's not been sleeping on me as much as he used to. He's going through a phase of either sleeping with Fiona or on the floor, like, you know, he's got different moods. So it hasn't been so easy. And so I've been having to do like full clip sessions. Well, Rob, it's funny because Rob has never been a big climber, but when Fiona and Fig, it took him a while. After watching Fiona and Fig long enough, he's learned how to jump more. Thanks, Fiona and Fig. But he gets up on like the kitchen table sometimes and I'm like, how did you do that? You can barely walk through the house without tripping yourself, but you got up on the kitchen table. It's fascinating. Or sometimes he'll surprise me and he'll jump up on the back of the couch and I'm like, that's not an easy jump because he has to kind of jump over a bookcase to get on the couch. But then something startles him and he'll jump off and then he trips himself. His legs get all... I don't understand. He's so charming. Somebody donated this dry food to Denise, who brought it to me, so I tried it with them, and Nala seems to like it more than she liked the other kibble, and I've not heard of it before. It's called Pure Vita chicken and peas. It's grain-free. Has anybody tried it before? It's a holistic something. I'm too old, I can't see the bar. Yeah, Pure Vita. What are you doing? You can't get through that way, baby. I think I've had Rob and Faye for what, 4 years, guys? When did I get them? And then Fiona and Fig, what, 3 years? Fiona's birthday is coming up. Isn't it? Let's see. Fiona's birthday is on Tuesday, the day I take Nala to the vet. I'm pretty sure it's VITA, Pure Vita. Yeah. I don't know how it can be that long, but I know I mean, what, I'm coming up on 5 years for the cam, right? Yeah. So 4 and 3 makes sense. You're so cute. I love you. I love you. Yeah, Rob and Faye were, who were they? They were, I think they were like 8 weeks old when I got them, but they were way underweight. So they looked like tiny kittens, but it was malnutrition. And Fiona and Fig were both at least 8 weeks old. Fiona got pulled from the city shelter where she'd been returned and separated from her sister, and Fig was found under a car and was being fostered by somebody else until she got spayed, and then I picked her up from her spay surgery and brought her here. Happy birthday to your kitties, Jersey. Yeah, Rob was like Skeletor when I got him. And Faye was a little white bald kitty. I remember being able to see her pink skin through her fur. And it was probably pink because she had such a high fever. Have you tried putting the fancy feast on top of other wet food? I'd be surprised if your cat rejected the Max Cat Duck, because nobody seems to reject the Max Cat Duck. Oh, Nala, you are so freaking cute. Nope, they're definitely not smaller in size anymore. Faye is a big girl. And Rob has a slightly weird shaped body, but he's a good, healthy, hunky boy. He's a good, healthy weight. He's probably the healthiest weight of all four of mine. Fiona and Faye are constantly going up and down in weight. They're chubby. Fig is at a healthy weight, but she goes up and down a little bit depending on activity. I need to get a catio just so she can freaking run around. She's like a sporty cat, and she needs way more exercise than she can get in my little place. But no matter what Rob eats, he seems to stay the same weight. Faye looks like a baby seal. Fig is the kind of cat that you could probably teach to do tricks. I just don't have the space. I've often thought about getting her one of those wheels that they can run around in. I just don't know. I wouldn't want to spend the money and then have her not use it. But I feel like if any of them were going to do it, it would be her. And I try to play with them like twice a day. But sometimes, you know, they're just lazy. Maybe on my Camiversary, I'll do a Rob and the Ladies live stream. What is it? See, I need to win the lottery so I can buy lots of expensive cat toys. You're so cute. But I remember Jean had said that there are mounts that you can put on the wall to put these on walls. And I was thinking I would get some of these in like white and maybe put some up in my dining room for the kitties. For my kitties. I don't know if they would use them, but I think they might. Something to get them moving and climbing until I can figure out a catio situation. That's Faye's favorite. She'll spaz out and she'll chase after something, and then she's like, all right, I've had my workout, and she lays down on her back and she just sits there going like that in the air. And she's like, what? I'm doing sit-ups. She just sits there just moving her stomach like, I'm doing a lot of sit-ups. I do not have to stand up. I wish mine played fetch. I throw something and they're like, they'll run and look at it and then they walk away. Like Fig used to play with springs more when they were in here, when they were still fosters. And now, like, they'll kick them around, but though Fiona's favorite toy is an old bird that I've tied a spring to the end of, and the string is now like this short because it's gotten so wound up around the pole. And she prefers that over feathers. She prefers that over any of the other toys, and she likes me to drag it around the floor really fast, and she likes to chase after it. And then I lift it up high and she leaps for it, and then I do it on the floor some more. It's her favorite thing. I have no clue why. Oh, the regular kitty costas do? They come in pieces? Yeah, I thought about, they have these little square shelves at IKEA that are like literally just a square, a white square, and I thought that with like one of these or something, or two of them, or one like this up on the wall maybe would entertain them a little bit. She's a tiny mobility scooter. She totally would. I could just see her with one paw on the wheel, like just for the controls. She has become such a freaking lap hog. She's on my lap all the time, and she just sits there rolling around in my lap wanting attention, and I love her, but when I'm trying to work it's very difficult. But that's partially why I think Rob hasn't been on my lap as much, because Faye has been demanding the attention. So she'll leap up and like, and she's not light. She stands there on me and she's like, look at me. She's in my face, rolling around, and she'll just stay there forever. I remember when she was a kitten, people thought that Rob was way more affectionate than she is. And truthfully, she's always been super affectionate and has gotten even more affectionate the older she gets. Totally, you could totally see Faye shopping Walmart on a scooter with a tiara on, of course, though. Oh, those are kind of cool. Oh. I don't know, the IKEA shelves might be cheaper, but I like that these have the grooves in them, and they're wood. I think they're wood. Yeah, they're wood. Interesting. I will check those out. What are you doing up there, princess? Did you wear yourself out? Show everybody your butt. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Pushing all the bad junk cat food into her trolley. The thing is that it's impossible to feed the 4 of them separately. And Faye and Fiona finish Fig and Rob's food. Fig and Rob always walk away from their plates, and Fiona and Faye finish. And then Fig will yell at me for more food midday. And I usually can like ignore her until it's time to feed them. But sometimes I admitted I give in. And I can't just feed her because the rest of them will scream. I mean, really, I could buy some wood and get a saw and some brackets and put up shelves. But I think at Kitten Rescue they used the IKEA shelves in one of their rooms, and it looks pretty nice. I mean, they're just simple laminated squares. But I like the idea of having like at least one cubby type box. Hello. What are you doing? Hello. You're so cute. What are you doing? We need to keep you from going down the same road Faye went. You're back. Come here. Oh, I will. We were cuddling. No, baby. What are you doing? Yeah, I mean, my brother does carpentry. Not like he doesn't build houses, but he works on like movie sets. So if I bought wood and said, hey, can you cut this up into whatever size and like help me mount them? I mean, Denise and I could mount them, but he would do, I mean, I have friends who would do that if he couldn't do it, but he has power tools at home. I know I could get help. I need to go get some wood. Gotta get some wood. You are so cute. Some wood and some paint, and voila. You're so cute. Lita and Milo's page. Do I know Lita and Milo? I will have to look them up. Are they on Facebook? No stripes or polka dots. No patterns. Yes, Coral has a tendency to want what Nala wants. Oh, Nala. You're so cute. You're so cute. You do not need to bite. You're so cute. You are. Hi. I'm getting your medicine at the sanctuary tomorrow. Woohoo! Woohoo! Isn't that exciting, isn't it? Hello. Sweet girl. You're so sweet. Yeah. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, sweet baby. Hi. Do you want help getting in there? Is that it? What are you doing? Oh, that's weird. You are so cute. You are so cute. What are you doing? Yes. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Where are you going? What? I don't need your butt in my face. But thank you. Oh, no. What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Where are you going? What is it? I have so much fur up my nose right now. Oh. Hi, Doc. Hi. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. What are you doing, Nala? Nala. What? Hi. cute. Hello. Hello. Nice. You're so pretty. What are you doing, Coral? Yes, no. Nala she's very affectionate when she's not busy. She's got lots to do, and when she's on a mission to kind of like wear herself out, she's not all that into affection. But when she starts getting sleepy and relaxing, she gets very, very sweet. But whenever I pick her up, no matter what she's doing, she starts purring and she'll let me like kiss her and stuff. Yeah. What? Yeah. Hi, baby. Let's just hope that, I mean, well, she's been like this with me before, but I'm always worried that her butt's going to go up in the air and she's going to go into heat. But she has this, she behaves this way periodically. Don't you? Yeah. Talk. What? She was just forced to be really independent because she was isolated by herself for so long. I'm just happy that she's affectionate with Coral and that she's as sweet with me as she is. Yes or no? No. You're so cute. What are you doing? Yeah. Is it nap time? What are you doing, Coral? Well, you know, my boy Kahlua was not affectionate at all until he was about. He started getting more affectionate at about 5 years old, where suddenly he would start like laying in my lap or leaning on my lap. And then after that, he got more and more affectionate through the years until he was like constantly at my side. But I remember for the first 5 years, if he got, like, if he was laying next to me, I felt like I couldn't even leave the house. I was like, if I move, he's never going to do this again. I can't go anywhere. Hi. And then when he passed away, we were so bonded that when he was dying, he actually called for me to come to him. Okay, you've got my shirt. There's no biting and cuddling. Excuse me. Stop. Don't pick on me. Now, all of my, oh, stop eating my hair. All of my female cats have been friendly. I think some of my female cats have been shyer than the boy cats, but Kahlua was just, he was the one that I got as a kitten, and he was a really good lesson in why you should get 2 kittens instead of 1. He was just busy, he was wild, and he had all this kitten energy that he didn't have anywhere else to take it out on except for me. So he looked at me like I was a toy rather than I was a human to cuddle with for a really long time. Yeah, just ask Donna and Kirby. I don't make all my fosters friendly and cuddly. Although the girls are cuddly though, right? They're just not friendly with strangers. But they're cuddly with you guys. You're cute. But part of it too is I think that, you know, your boys have a mama, so they didn't have to, I think it takes a while when they have their mom with them to actually get more affectionate with humans, but I think they usually come around. I love you too, I know. What? What are you doing? Yeah? It's really kind of fascinating when you have like 3 cats and one is fearless. You would think that the other scaredy cats would like catch up on it, like catch on to it and be like, well, if he's not afraid, maybe we don't need to be as afraid. But they just don't do that. It's so unfair. Yep, 2 kittens are always better than 1. I mean, I hoped that when I had Splash with Gale and Chinook, that Splash would wear, like, Gale and Chinook would kind of catch on with Splash, and they just never did. They were scaredy cats to the extreme. Hi, Aurora. What are you doing? Is it nap time? Hmm? You're so sweet. You are, you're so sweet. I know. Hi, Adoras. What is it, baby? Yeah? Do you want to go up with Nala? You can go up with Nala. It's okay. Yes, baby. I know you love me. I know. Thank you. But why don't you cuddle with Nala? Are you about to chew on my hair? No biting the hair. A little bit. Right in that spot. In the shoulder blade. Go in. Oh, there goes Nala. What are you doing? You're cute. Alright, it's getting late. I think I need to get ready for bed. Okay, here we go. Now I got fuzz all over me. Fuzz.